What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Dana Danes, and welcome to the after show nobody asked for. Okay, this video is a review of season 6, episode 3 for Growing Up Hip Hop LA. Okay, her backyard is not clean, and we're gonna get into this video. But before we do, please keep in mind, okay, keep in mind that my thoughts and views are for entertainment purposes only. So please don't take me too seriously, but let's get into it. So the episode begins with the Simmons siblings, okay? JoJo and Angela are in Miami, and Angie's spot, right? They're all at Angela's place, right? And JoJo wants to get into why Angela moved in the first place, okay? And we find out that Angela is that chick, okay? She is this kind of girl. The kind of girl who will try and convince you not to do something and then end up doing it themselves when it's convenient for them. We found out that JoJo wanted to move to Miami, and Angela was talking him out of it, talking about, no, you don't want to go there, blah, 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 blah. I think she talked about the hurricane season or something like that, he said, and then only to move out there herself. This is why, you guys, you need to just do what you want to do. Okay? Because people be telling you not to do something only to turn around and do it themselves once it's convenient for them. You feel me? Okay? And even though she's keeping her spot in New York, I still felt the shadiness in that. I hate when people do that. I'm not going to hold anything against her for this violation, but I see you, Angie. I see you. Anyways, it was a funny, cute sibling moment between the two, and JoJo's wasn't seriously upset, so like, why would I be, right? So he was just playing, and then he segued into his other reason for being in Miami, which is to plan a surprise wedding anniversary party for his wifey, which I think is beautiful, especially after all they've been through. Angela's excited, she wants to help, and JoJo is like, no thank you. And that was that. Okay, we head over to Las Vegas, and Egypt is in the booth again. And I'm so sick, yeah. Sick and so tired of all you people. Right? Well, we're sick too, Egypt. We are sick of you letting Sam write for you. Okay? Especially when your mother and father have plenty, okay? A plethora of more capable associates to do the job. Why won't you use your connections, your resources, girl? Nobody is checking for these tracks that Sam is writing for you. It is completely okay to collaborate with other producers and writers, especially in the beginning of your career. Like, ugh. Anyways, I'm not feeling this song at all. Are y'all? Okay? And then I'm seeing him criticize and correct her, okay, when it came down to her vocals. Sam gets on my nerves, y'all. Sam gets on my nerves. I can't stand these two together. I'm sorry. Okay, it's probably always going to be shade when it comes to Egypt and Sam. All right. Anyways, so we bounce over to Savannah, Stevie J's daughter. And she drops in, and they begin to talk and, share and get to know each other, right? Because they don't know each other at this time. She just came into town and joined this collective group, right? So they start listening to another track, but this is a track that we're hearing that's just Egypt. And I believe it was her dad, Tretch, at the beginning. And it was actually pretty good. You see what happens when you take Sam out, right? It was not that bad. Maybe it's just Sam that I hate, you guys. Revelations are being made before me. Maybe it's just Sam. I really don't feel like I'd have such a big problem with Egypt if she wasn't attached to Sam. I just think he does too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's unnecessarily, I guess he feels all the time he has to prove himself. And I just feel like, why do you have to prove yourself to anybody? Just be yourself. You don't need approval. You don't need to act all, it just seems like very actory in the fact of like how hard he is, and I don't know, it's annoying. So then anyways, Boogie pops up, and he's crushing on Vanna. Okay, we find out he has a little crush on Vanna, and they make plans and a plan to double date with Egypt and Sam. And Vanna is, shocked. She's like, oh, I didn't know that, Boogie was interested. Okay, and she said this boy better have his pockets packing, okay? She wants that cash. He needs to be willing to spend. Vanna is no joke, y'all. I love her, okay? I love her vibe. I like how she just keeps it 100. You know, she wants what she wants and she's not accepting anything less. I love that about her. Comment below, do you like this addition of Vanna, Stevie J's daughter, into the mix? I do, right? So it was a little cute ending to their scene or whatever. So then we segue over to Titi and her fiance, and they're meeting her cousin, Tyran. Well, I guess their cousin if they're married now, but whatever. Okay, and Tyran. And can I just side note that last episode that I've covered, I called him Tyreek the whole video. I'm ashamed. It's Tyran. Anyway, Tyran is a champ, okay? He took the steps to the top of the roof, okay, the top floor, and he didn't even look out of breath, y'all. Like, he gave me life because I could never. I need to work out more. Like, did he really just do this, y'all? Okay? And it looked like a really big building. Anyway, Tyran wants to bring TT and Pep together, which he's telling this to the producers, right? He plans to do so by inviting TT and inviting Pep to his new school that he just built because he's going to be teaching fighting and different things like that, right? And he's going to invite them at the same time without each of them knowing about it. This doesn't sound like a good idea to me, Tyran, but you know, he's asking for prayers and Godspeed, young man, right? That this never works out for the best. Anyway, he gets to meet his little cousin, TT's baby boy, and it's absolutely adorable, okay? It's so cute. Seeing that little chubby-faced baby, just, ooh, he's so cute. And I love how he gets to meet his uncle / cousin or whatever's going down there. And I don't know, it was just a really cute scene. So that scene ends there, and we get taken to a beautiful park where we see Brianna and Twist meeting up for a little friendly picnic, and they're eating Kool-Aid and pickles. Apparently, it's amazing. I don't know how. I don't see it. Have you tried this combination? Comment below. Is it really that great? Because they're talking like it's amazing, and my mind cannot fathom. Okay? So anyway, Brianna has beef with Boogie because he didn't stand up for her when Egypt and Stan were talking shit about her, I guess, last season. And now she's basically going to cuss him out, Bree style, when she sees him, right? If you've watched past seasons, you know what that looks like, right? You know what I mean. And Twist kind of tells her about the drama that happened with Pep, with their meeting. You know, he still stands by his non-association with Sammy Boy and his foolery. You know, Bree gets a good laugh at that, and Bree just continues and just wants Boogie to, you know, be standing up for her like real friends do. And she's right, you know, I can't disagree. It's not like she wants Boogie to fight for her, like fight them, get up and be like, hey, you know, don't talk about my friend, let's fight outside. She just wants him to be like, hey, you can't talk about my friend like that in front of me. You know what I'm saying? And I get that because I'm the same way. Like, if someone's talking about my friend in a bad light, I'm not just going to sit there and listen and smile and nod. I'm going to check people. Like, at least, like, okay, I understand you feel how you feel, but you can't talk about my friend like that in my presence. You know what I'm saying? At least show some sort of loyalty, right? Which is what she didn't see and what has her upset. So I get it, right? So then we step over to Stevie J, right? And he's playing ball with his junior. And that boy looks like his daddy, okay? He can't deny it. He can't deny that, okay? And they're talking about Vanna and how they need to find out how she's making her money, right? We know this. They plan to go to her place, which Stevie found out is like $6,000 a month. Stevie Jr., sorry. He found this out. He looked it up online. And they're even more intrigued about how she's getting this money and basically planning to pop up on her, right? So the scene pretty much ends there with their plot, right? So what happens? We head back over to Miami, and Angela is talking to her boxer boo on FaceTime. And she finds out, okay, that she can't come to his sparring event. She really wanted to go. She was hoping she could catch it. But someone on his team caught COVID. And, she's disappointed, and she's explaining that to him, and she discusses this hardship with her friend, right? She gets off the phone, and then they pan over to her friend, and she's kind of discussing the dynamics of her relationship, which she wasn't expecting to get in. Now she's in it, but she doesn't have a lot of patience for these restrictions and the rules that he has to follow in order to be able to continue his career, right? So she's not sure what the long term looks like, even though she wants to be positive, right? So there was that cute little scene. Then we go back to LA and we see the pop-up on Vanna, okay? Steve and Stevie Jr. pop up on her at her $6K a month crib, and she didn't seem too happy about it, okay? She's bossing them around. She's looking for sage to burn. Vanna is a mess, okay? She's so funny. She's like, I gotta get this sage. Y'all coming in here with this energy. Anyway, they get to ask it again. Vanna, how are you making your money? And Vanna says, it's the power of manifestation. She said something happens. Her palm itches. I was dying. Like, not her palm itching and then the money just comes. Right? She's still refusing to basically give up the deets on how she does that, how she's getting her money, how she's doing what she does. And I love her energy, right? She pulls out the cash, and doesn't want to share how she's getting it. And they aren't letting up, right? And she pretty much ends up kicking them out, right? She said, y'all disrespecting me, right? But they respected her wishes and they left. But honestly, you could tell that that was not going to be the last that she has seen or heard from them in regards to this. They are not letting this go, guys. They are not going to give up until they get to the bottom of how she is making her money and how she's affording herself all these luxury clothes, purses, shoes. They said the dog was vegan, right? Like, how you affording all of this? Talking about she smokes an ounce a day, like, how, right? So they ain't letting up. She got rid of them for now, but they'll be back. So then we get into this next scene, right? And Pep is meeting up with another one of her sisters, Dawn, okay? And they're playing pool, catching up. And Dawn, wants to know the tea. And so Pep starts discussing TT and Egypt and Sam and the beef. And it seems like Dawn isn't too fond of Miss TT. Is it just me? Comment below. Because at this point, I'm just like, she don't seem to like her very much. And she pretty much, what did she say? She said TT needs to mind her own business because she has dirt on her, right? So then the cameras take us over to Tyran's school, and we're seeing the planned meetup that Tyran's setting up. Honestly, the sister coming in with that little scene, I just felt like they up to something, and it ain't nothing good, right? But anyways, they pan over to Tyran and his diabolical plan to bring his family together. And TT walks in, and she's super proud, super excited for him. And that is until Pep pops up, okay? TT's face is just like, hell nah. And Pep just seems shocked. She seems shocked to see her there. TT is not down. And, Pep tries to make convo. She's trying to make the best of the situation. So she asks about the baby. And she wants to know what her position in TT's baby's life is. And honestly, that sugar honey iced tea got shady as hell from this point on. The room went silent. And TT says that Tyran is an uncle, right? She says that even when they're on the phone and he calls and they FaceTime, you'll hear her refer to Tyran as Uncle Tyran, right? And Tyran's agreeing like, yeah. And Pep goes, well, what am I then? What am I? Who am I to the baby? TT did not waste any time. She said, lady, you the lady that he's never met, okay? Pep's face had me dying. She was like, what? Like, her face was like, no, she didn't just say this to me, right? She could not believe TT just said this to her. Yeah, it was, the offense was high. Tyran tried to change the convo, and, TT was putting on her jacket. She got her coat on, and Tyran wants to talk, right? He wants to talk with everyone, including Egypt. He wants to plan this get together, this sit down, and leave the past in the past. And Pep is agreeing. She's like, oh, sure. I'd love to do that. And I'm just getting like, Pep, you being fake as fuck. Because you were just in New York talking to Don, digging up some dirt. And it didn't even seem like you and Dawn had even talked in a while, the way she talking and asking you about stuff. Like, it's almost like you reached out to her for this purpose. I'm not saying that, but that's the vibration I'm getting at this point, especially after the scene we just saw with this sister that you apparently haven't spoken to in forever, but now she's popping up and she's got beef with TT and information on her too. I'm calling you out on that, Pep. I'm calling you out on that, right? So anyways, Pep is agreeing. TT agreed to nothing. She kind of just stayed silent and let them decide that, yeah, this is possible. We could totally do this. And she's just there smiling, this awkward smile like, nah, right? So then we see Pep getting to like pretty much threatening TT. Like, oh, I know some dirt on you, so you may want to be nice to me. And I don't know. I don't like it. That's your niece, Pep. So like, it's looking, it ain't making you look too nice to be sitting here talking about this little girl like that. She's significantly younger, and you're acting like you want to get involved in some high school beef, and it's not cute, right? Anyways, they leave it at that. TT went about her business, and that was that, right? We go over to Miami, and JoJo and Angela, they're meeting the event planner, Cree, that JoJo had spoken about, right? He wants her to plan the, wedding anniversary surprise, right? She's a new face in the group who's a daughter of a famous rapper legend that I know nothing about, right? I don't know him, but that's just me, right? They get into what she does, and she seems very accomplished, with the type of event. She's done concerts, she's done weddings, she's done a lot, right? She's also super beautiful, gorgeous, dark-skinned, beautiful woman, just flawless. She's beautiful. And JoJo throws out that he wants her pops to perform. And then we find out that unfortunately they're not that close at this time. And she lets them kind of know the deal. And, they're being supportive and, trying to encourage the reconnection with him, and that was nice. So they just began to plan. So then we're back over in Vegas, and we see Egypt, and Pep's walking through the door. And she has her sister Dawn with her. What did I say, y'all? Like, I knew she was up to nothing good with this lady, right? Egypt seems excited to see her. Everyone's wig is horrible looking, by the way, right? Like, what happened here? Like, why couldn't not one of y'all get a proper wig for this scene? But anyways, Dawn doesn't seem to have seen her, Egypt, that is, in some time, because she's getting updates as though, they don't speak, at least not often. And that seems suspect to me and goes back to my original theory of her being brought in for this specific purpose of beefing with TT. And here's why. Listen up. Like, look what happens, right? So they go into why is, right? So Egypt starts talking about, the situation. And I'm just wondering, why doesn't your Auntie Dawn, who you love so much, know about your wedding, knew that you were engaged? Like, she's talking to you like this information is new to her, right? Congratulating her on it. Like, she hasn't, Egypt has been engaged for over a year now. And you're just now telling her about it, knowing all the information. Anyway, she's congratulating her. They start talking about Egypt's wedding and, the plans. And by the way, Egypt is also planning to get married in Jamaica. So there's this battle of the brides thing that's starting to kind of take place between TT and Egypt, which is definitely going to put more tension on their relationship. But here's the thing that bothered me. Why is Egypt acting like TT's copying her for having a wedding in Jamaica when TT lives in Jamaica? That's where her mother is. That's where her man is. That's where her man's business is. I believe they have other things going on. But from what I last was told, even before she got pregnant, when she was pregnant last season, she had been living in Jamaica with her man, right? So I'm just Why do you think she's having her wedding in Jamaica to copy you, and instead of the fact of that's where she is now residing, right? But anyways, they get into how that she's trying to copy her, um, you know, but whatever. So they get to talking about TT, and Pep brings up the whole thing that went down at Tyran's school and the disgust on Auntie Dawn's face, y'all. Child. She started to go in. And can you believe that they left us hanging with this lady claiming TT's man is cheating? I was just like, no, they didn't. Like, no, they didn't. Right? You know, this is planned. I now officially know that this is planned. I don't care. They planned this, y'all. She planned to bring this lady in, and she looked like she's been having a hard life, and that's probably why they haven't even spoken to this lady. I'm not saying drugs, but she definitely looked like she'd been through some things, and for the fact that she'd been hearing around the streets little things about TT all of a sudden, nah, I don't believe that, y'all. I don't believe it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this was just, oh, you know, I just decided to meet up with my sister who obviously knows nothing about my life, you know, and my daughter's life, and we're going to bring her around, and she just happens to know TT's business. She just happens to know it, right? Like, come on. Anyways, we all know reality TV ain't all that reality-ish, right? They like to set up stuff, and I think that this was their way of staying relevant. Cheap shot, but okay, do what you gotta do, right? Well, that's how they ended this revelation, right, of TT's man cheating. And we're gonna leave it right there. I can't wait for episode 4. I know that some other things are probably going to start coming out because according to the previews, you know, there's some stuff really going down, like specifically with TT and what they're trying to expose of her. You know, obviously editing can make it seem bigger and better than what it truly is, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued. This is what made me say, you know what? I'm going to start reviewing this show. I'm invested. I'm in. Okay. Anyways, y'all, I want to thank you for listening. I want to remind you guys to please like, share, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Just a heads up, I will be doing more shows as they come out. So stay tuned for that. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time with the next episode. I love y'all. Have a great day, morning, evening, whenever you're seeing this. We'll talk soon.